Hi, welcome to the CosTech Lounge. We thought we were going to try something a little bit different today, so I've brought in Ashok. A lot of people have spoken with Ashok before. So Ashok is our compliance director. So as you know, we spend a lot of time making sure that we're fully compliant with the latest regulations, as well as compliant with DAMAS, which we use as our quality control system. What we thought we'd do is we get a lot of queries and feedback coming through, and then alongside that we actually get a lot of questions. And we thought, oh, we can put that down as a big FAQ or a Q&A, and then we thought, let's bring it straight in. Ashok's compiled a whole load of questions. I'm going to answer them. No idea what it is, so it could be a little bit candid. Like I said, we haven't tried this before. Let's see how it goes. So, Ashok, let's go.
Yeah, just to say up, there's no real theme. I've just collated interesting questions and then chucked in some extra bits while I've got you here to put you on the spot a bit. So number one that keeps coming up recently, I think at this point everyone knows that we accept work from pretty much all scanners, but do we have a preferred scanner, or failing that, a scan file type that we'd recommend?
A preferred scanner. So we actually get this a lot at the exhibitions as well. We get a lot of people who say, oh, what's the best scanner? That's like saying, what's the best car? You don't know what the best car actually is. It's what's the best car for what you want. It's like, do you want to be carrying like the family safely, or do you just want a two-seater convertible death trap? Both get you A to B.
So how fancy do you want it to be?
How fancy do you want it to be? Basically, look at the what functionalities it actually has. What do you want to achieve in the practice, and what do you want to achieve clinically? Now, people say, oh yeah, but I can get a really, really cheap one. And goes, yeah, it's cheap for a reason. It's quality, time, and price. So on the triangle, you've got to choose where you want to be. What I can say is, if there is any problem with the scanner that we get through, if there's quality of the scans or anything, then basically we just feed that back to the dentist. The top line scanners out there, the famous ones, all as good as each other. Some of them do things better than other ones, but I can't kind of like say, I've got to be careful on this one, just say this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, without picking anyone out, there isn't at this point anyone that we say, look, just don't get that scanner at all, is there?
No. The technology, there used to be, I can honestly say there used to be, at the beginning of the scanners, there used to be like somewhere we would look at it and be like, this dentist has bought this scanner, and we'll be like, yeah, okay, well, we'll see if we can make do. But now they've all moved on so well. I mean, like, what is it? The saying you say is like, tide raises all the boats.
A rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all viable.
Yeah, but do your research. If you can get your hands on one, to try it out, and if you do want to try it out, send it through to us, and we can let you know, like, basically what we think of the scan as well.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right. Next one. To what extent are we using AI assistance for case design? And then I'm going to put you on the spot now, because I'd like to know, what's our stance on AI use in the lab in general?
Right. So AI, absolutely magnificent tool. So we are already implementing it in our manufacturing AI designers to help process the beginning parts of processing the crown. For example, recognizing the margins, stitching it, producing the models, and doing the first part of the crowns. Is it going to take over completely? Is it basically going to put technicians out of a job? Mm-hmm. No. I can't actually see a point. Basically, when that happens, everything will be in surgery milling anyway. That is on the horizon. It's going to happen. AI used as a tool, brilliant. Use it to enhance what you do, not to completely replace. Mm-hmm. There are some things where you need that human element to actually say, this is good, okay, but that isn't. And sometimes it's that final 5% that makes a difference between an okay crown and a great crown.
Cool. I'm just going to add to that as well with my data protection hat on. From the admin perspective, we don't have AI handling anything that's like sensitive information. Ideally, everyone should just be sending through patient ID codes anyway, but we do end up being sent names, photographs, things like that. So that's all done by humans who are brought up to speed on GDPR and everything. So just to throw that in there, the AI assistance is just purely for design work, right?
And this is why we have Ashok on board.
I was really hoping you were going to say that, but you didn't. So Right, so we've had a few issues. This one is just a perennial thing that comes up. One dentist was saying they were having a few issues with shade discrepancies. Can we just reiterate what can we do to ensure shade taking accuracy? Basically, that they could give us a shade that we could replicate and they're happy then that it's the same shade that they've got back.
So we use the Vita Classic shade guide, as everyone knows. What happens is as we come out from the summer months to the winter months, it becomes seasonal, that we're taking shades in ambient light to artificial light to natural daylight, and doing a shade take underneath the headlight, yes, it's good, it can be okay, but taking it in at least 3 different places just so you can cross-reference the shade that you've got, going towards a window so you've got not necessarily direct sunlight, but at least natural light coming through. If at any time not sure, pick the one that's closest, that the closely matches the body of the shade. Take a picture. Even though it's not color calibrated, we can visually see, okay, well, it's A35 with a little bit more. Sometimes it's not even the shade, it's down to the translucency that's actually changing the shade.
So taking a picture with the shade tab in view.
That's it.
Email it to info@costech.co.uk and then we should read from there.
That's it.
So kind of like a tag-along question I'm throwing in, we had this issue recently with like the gold types that we're using. So the first question is, can we shade match gold?
No. Can we? No.
Oh.
Well, actually, if we were to shade match gold, I would have to have a shade guide made of gold, which that's not going to happen.
Okay.
But if the patient has had a crown done previously, the lab will have a record of what the composition is. From that, we can see what is the closest match of the composition of the alloy. Now, as we all know, gold prices have just gone absolutely through the roof. I think they're back on the way down now, but it's probably going to bounce. So we have had to change it recently, as you know. So the actual gold, the hues has changed slightly. It's still yellow. But no, if somebody says, a really yellow crown, like when we used to do the 86% gold crown.
Yeah, that was the next one. The 2% and 86% options.
2% never really took off. I mean, that was kind of like the rose gold type one. We did that for a little while, but yeah, that didn't really take off massively. But the 86%, it's the cost is just so astronomical, and to actually store that level of gold as well is
because we do have dentists saying, well, I've got one in, how much would it cost, blah blah blah. But as far as I understand, we're buying it in 10-gram ingots.
Yeah, some of them come in 10-gram packets, 25-gram packets, and it's like, well, we buy 25 grams and we're using 2 grams of it or something. That's a lot of stock.
You have to store a little lump of gold somewhere and then hope it's still there.
Yeah.
For the next 10 years later. Okay. So in short, we're not currently offering 2% and 86% for those reasons, just the standard types. Gotcha. On CosTech lithium disilicate, dentists are asking, really, what's the difference from Emax?
So Emax is a proprietary name, Ivoclar. It's the main material is lithium disilicate. There are other materials which is very similar, which is dilithium disilicate as well. It's kind of like zirconia. It's the raw material is lithium disilicate. The processing with Emax is different. They've got many years of experience, which gives very good stable shades, especially when you're working with substructures, which could be slightly different, darkened shades and things. It gives us a lot more versatility. But if you like the material and just like lithium disilicate, then this is kind of like your bread and butter material. If you're looking for something where it's like, no, you need something with really good shade matching, and we're trying to match 2 centrals where one has got an substructure which is very discoloured, Emax has got an amazing solution for that.
Okay, brilliant. This one, will we be adding more stock of demo models to the shop page?
Demo model. I think as we got more and more digital, we don't actually get majority.
Would you like to explain why we have demo models, or how we ended up with so many X-Display ones on the shop?
So what happens is, it was a 2-week turnaround. When people when we used to get a lot of impressions through, we would have them send it through, and like after a week or something would happen. Patient would either cancel the treatment part the way through, or, for example, it's like, actually no, it's turned into a root canal or something, and so the whole prescription has completely changed. But we're already 80% of the way through. So we'd end up with a model which basically you can't reuse it, so we put it on the shop. Now with digital, it's in and out the lab so quickly. I mean, like by the time we get it in, and we're doing a 1-week turnaround, so there's not actually much time to actually
catch it in that process. Yeah,
I haven't really thought, because they used to fly out the shop quite a bit.
Well, it's because the X-Display ones, for us, it's essentially, it's equivalent to rubbish. There's nothing we can do with it other than show dentists when we go to exhibitions, but your run-of-the-mill cases aren't necessarily going to be ones that you want to show off as, like when you're in the exhibition, it'll be like, oh, that's just a bog standard crown, but it's not showing me anything that we'd like to show off that the lab can do. So, we can make them to order. Actually, I brought a prop.
Hey.
I literally asked the guys to make some more of these because we have run out of these ones. This was a stock design that we did.
Is that one of the exhibition ones? We used for...
We had it it was one of the ones that was popular at exhibitions, so we ended up making them en masse when we were first doing, I think it's a Unizerk, a full metal, and PFM.
Yeah.
So that one, actually, let me just check. Because we make those en masse, they're slightly cheaper than they would be normally. That is, if I can find it on the... That's £85, including VAT. We have to charge VAT on demo models because it's technically not a custom medical device at that point. So, yeah, we have to pay the tax man. So that's £85, including VAT.
Yep.
But obviously, we'll have dentists saying, well, I don't want those materials. I want to make my own custom one. And at the moment, we'll say, yeah, we'll give you a discount, but then it's outweighed by the fact we're having to put VAT on. I didn't know what your thoughts were on that. Like, where we're going with this.
I mean, like, I remember being in the surgery, and trying to explain the difference of the crowns to the dentist. It's as a compliance tool, especially for patients making a decision. I think we need to get more of these out there.
We did the zirconia ones that we did as the freebie last year, which was super popular, and I think that's why I've had more questions about, yes, we really like that, yeah, we use that. Can we have something else like it?
Let's put it this way. Here you go. So this is how we actually come up with ideas in the lab. So what we do is just you can custom make anything. We can design anything. If they want, I want this on this tooth, this on this tooth, I want this material. That's fine. Take it as whatever the list price is on our standard price list, so without any discounts or anything. And then just take 25% off. We'll sort out the VAT.
So we'll sync the VAT?
We'll sync the VAT.
It's on camera, so you're locked in now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good? Okay, cool.
All right. So there'll be an email coming out. So get your study models on, choose what you want, 25% off. I'll get this cleared by finance.
And then we're good to go.
And then we're good to go.
Cool. All right. I'm happy with that. Why don't we offer guarantees on, I mean, this was for prosthetics, but on removables in general. So we have our Crown and Bridge guarantee, 5 years worldwide, for private, 1 year for NHS. But we don't technically offer any guarantee on removables. Why is that?
Right, so with removables, because the action of actually taking it out of the mouth, you actually create a different type of force compared to what is just in the mouth. Like, for example, we've got a crown. In the same way, if someone tries opening a beer bottle and fractures the crown, that is not normal usage.
Hopefully, yeah. Unless it's Christmas.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But with dentures, because you are taking them on and out, in and out, you can basically, the forces on it is slightly different. Also, the soft tissue changes, and therefore the bite forces can change, and so there's a lot of variables. So sometimes when things break, especially after 5 years, it's not necessarily the actual on the manufacturing side. It's actually probably more on what's happening on the habitual side.
Okay.
And also, like if someone drops it, dog runs off with it, that one where the seagull ran off with it, we can't cover for that.
Classic, yeah. Okay, cool. Next one, this is putting you on the spot. What's the full arch price for Smile Design? I did make a note of what this would be, and
You're putting me on the spot. So where's it? It's £28. All right, Smile Design. We did this in the last podcast. So £28 for the first one.
Gee, I've made I was trying to hide
£28 for the first crown, and then £15 for all the other crowns. So that's
okay.
All right, hang on. So if you're doing 6 to 6, 12, so 11 times 15, 165. Add 28, 193.
My mental arithmetic's not as good as yours. I'm going to just give it to you. Cool. All right.
All right. Yeah. So a full arch, if you're going 6 to 6, 193 for a full Smile Design.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Full arch price for Smile Design. A dentist was asking recently, can they request specific features, but also, I don't have it to hand, but they'd sent a picture of like 2 or 3 variations on the same smile, so that they had some options to offer the patient. So rather than it just being identikit, here is the Uber smile that we're trying to jam in every patient's mouth sort of thing, rather than telling the patient this is objectively the best, could we offer a few different designs for them to pick from?
Is this on the Smile Design side or
on the Smile Design?
On the Smile, yes. So something that a lot of people do is they send in a picture of Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. Someone, the dentist had to say to the husband, goes, putting that smile in, is it going to make her look like that? Sometimes the smile has to actually look the patient's face. It's like, has the patient got a square face or everything? So sometimes the smile looks good in the face because it's got the same golden proportion ratios, which is what we follow for every smile. The golden proportions, it's universal. And then it's the tweaking of how feminine or masculine they are. Are they squarer, more tapered? And if you want to have multiples of them, yes, we can. We wouldn't do it as a model. We would actually do it as STLs. So what we do is we'll, if you say, okay, can you give me 1 or 2 options, something to actually go on, we would then design it and send the STL as a web view link. We wouldn't print 3 different models. Okay,
so we could potentially do it and we just send the design links rather than printing one out. Okay, cool. Where are we on here? Smile Design, anti-snoring appliances. What's the impression process and what's the fit process?
Impression, alginates, upper and lower, and then the most important part is the bite, is to do it with something that isn't, with something stable, something that's got a high shore hardness, so and isn't brittle. I think you need shore hardness of at least like 90 on it. Definitely not wax because it can't distort. But what you have to do is you have to take it with basically the patient protruding the jaw as far comfortable forward as they can take it. Not so far it's going to start causing a problem. But
I know I'm watching you, I'm like, where is comfortable?
Where is just a bit forward. Basically, we'll take that. If it is too far forward, the connectors on it, it comes with multiple connectors, so you can actually change the protrusion level.
Actually, give me a sec. I think there's one. You're not going to be able to see it on the video anyway because I'm that far away from you. But we've got the connectors. So
we've got the connectors, so we can do it. And then putting them in, the main thing is yes, the upper and lower bonding, but you can't just put it in and bite down and use your jaws to actually clamp them in. You actually have to push it, start from the back, just start with your thumbs, pushing it in, working forward, and then removing it is basically as again, starting from the back, in reverse, from the back, being forward one at a time. I've not worn one, luckily, not yet. But as people say, as you get used to it, it's like it starts coming out. If it starts falling out, then it's coming to the end of its life and you might need a new one.
Okay, cool. So they haven't told you about the case they're working on for your... Do we still do composite onlays / overlays? Why aren't they in the price guide?
Composites, that used to be our bread and butter. And then, so composite inlays and onlays and even crowns. There's a couple of factors. One, the fashion has changed a little bit. People are now moving because zirconia has come down so much in price. It's actually being replacing composites. Also, the chairside composites are a lot more, a lot better, and a lot more people are doing chairside composites. So yes, we can do it. However, it is still a manual process. As a lab, as we're going more digital and going through an automated digital process, products which are very manual basically have kind of just naturally just slid away a little bit. But there are times where you have to do it. We have seen a massive movement as well of people moving over to GCAM as well. Anyone who saw the other from January had the guys from Graphene Nano over. A lot of people, especially for crowns, instead of using composite crowns, are using GCAM.
Okay.
So I don't think it's so the reason why it's not on the price list is because it's not a major product anymore. It's kind of like a hidden menu one. I think we've probably got about 20 materials which are now what we call legacy.
Yeah. So they're still being offered. It's just not
Yeah.
being advertised. Actually, right. So I should get the price for that. £33 per unit for the composite on lasers and overlays. That's our current price for it.
Yeah.
Cool. Just cutting back to Smile Design, do we offer clear stents for injection molding technique for composite bonding?
Yep. So on the Smile Design package, after you've paid for the Smile Design, you then ask for the stent. Now, this is where we don't have one fixed procedure. Some people want to do injectable through basically holes at the front, but we've got some people who are using very thin and thick needles, nozzles, syringes. So if you do need it, write on the docket or on your digital docket, basically say that you want direct bonding filling holes. We can do them for you. We don't charge anything extra, but if you say, I want a 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil, whatever it is, we'll do it, but we don't do anything as standard. As standard, we don't make any holes because some people don't necessarily want the holes. But if you do want them, let us know how thick, and we'll get those put onto the stents.
Cool. On scans, do we accept digital scans for implants? If so, like anything they need to be aware of, any information they need to be including particularly?
Yeah. I was surprised actually. I was talking with some of the implant guys at Cologne exhibition that the UK is very slow on the uptake for using scan bodies.
Sure.
Yes, we do many cases a day where people have used the scan bodies. You just have to let us know if you're using the proprietary ones. Like for example, if you're using the Straumann scan body, we've got all of the catalogues there. If you're using a system we haven't got, we will actually contact the manufacturer and get the catalogue. If it's third party and you're using it, we will also contact the third party ones. But there hasn't been a system that we haven't been able to use. Okay, it's designed with the lab in mind, so it's quite easy to pick up on it.
Nice one. I have a note here from Jigger saying, just to remind everyone, please include platform size, implant brand, sub-brand, etc. The more information you can include on the prescription, the less likely then that you'll have to wait while someone from the lab contacts you to get all the additional details. On that note as well, we frequently get like every different type, people asking, do we do all on 4s, all on 6, Paolo Mallow designs, locator dentures, bar dentures?
Yeah, it's this is like the absolute speciality work. Yes, we do it. Jigger basically heads up all of the big cases along with Anthony when it goes on the prosthetic side. So anything like that, email us because there's so many variations that you can have with these sort of restorations. We don't have one fixed price. It's kind of like a POA answer where tell us what you want to do and we'll give a cool. And we work out a price. We have a pricing structure. If I had the list, the price list would probably be about that thick.
Okay. Cool. So for any specialist items, price on application, please let us know.
That's it.
But broadly, yes, we can do it.
Yes.
Great. Cool. And the last points, they're all basically down to the move. I think because we put in the price guide that we will be moving premises at some point this year. Will there be any lab closure dates or any disruption due to the move?
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, CosTech has a new home. We're moving just down the road. It means I've got to get up a little bit earlier to get into work on time. I can't just roll out of bed anymore. but we're renovating it at the moment. It's a lovely property right on the riverside, and we'll be actually having our conference centre up there, so we'll be running a lot more courses. Downtime, we will be managing it, so there will not be any downtime.
Okay.
The only thing that the idea was to try and get the move done during a long weekend break. However, we don't anticipate everything. Everything that in the planning is actually being designed, so there shouldn't be any disruption.
Okay, cool. So that's going to answer my next question, because the other thing people are asking, is there going to be a cut-off for sending postal cases? Nightmare scenario. They send an impression, a physical impression here, and then we've moved down the road.
Because we've got this building for another year afterwards.
Okay,
we'll
cool.
keep, if people are sending in by post, we'll have two types of docs, and we'll phase one out and phase the other out, and just make sure that raw mail
Cool.
sort of do their job and make sure they post it to the right place.
Yeah, just on that note, even before that happens, actually, we collect from the depot. I don't know if we're still going to be doing that at the new premises, but we collect directly from the depot. So we try and cut out the actual postman bit and go straight there and collect ourselves. So we would still be able to basically go and run down to the depot and get anything for this area anyway. And last one, it's literally like an extra 10-15 minutes from here, but are our driver routes likely to change as a result?
No, I mean, yes, we're a bit further away. People where we're servicing everyone down in Dover, we're a little bit closer. London, if anything, we're looking to actually increase the routes. We're still very close by the main link roads. So no, anyone who's on the driver's route, rest assured, you'll still be serviced with your driver.
Cool. I'm good. That's all.
Awesome.
That's all I had.
Actually, that went all right. Actually, I think that went quite well.
That's right. We'll do it again in 6 months, and I'll try and find some harder questions.
Well, hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was informative for you all. If you've got any questions, send it through to Ashrock, info@costech.co.uk. Also, make sure that you're on the portal to give feedback. You can also load questions up on there. I think we covered a lot of ground there. I reckon we should do it again at some point.
Yeah, just a really quick plug. If you're not already on the weekly newsletter, just get on. If you go on to costech.co.uk, somewhere on there, there'll be a thing to put your email address and sign up. It's once a week. It goes out every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Well, usually, apart from that one time a year, we might get something running a little bit late, or we're like a bit excited to bring something a little bit early. But that's where we notify people of when we put new demo models up on the shop, or when we reduce the prices for demo models. The price changes, basically anything that we're doing, we'll let you know there first. It's the best way to stay in touch, and we'll let you know when new podcast episodes go live as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Good.
Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch up soon.